what's going on, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Dreamer, Got Better Beats. Trying something new, as you can see. Trying to give you guys a live view. That way, just in case down the road where, well, see, now it says waiting for device. I'm not sure why it does that. I'll look into doing that. But sooner or later, I'm going to actually have a camera that can actually record as long as I need it to. So we're going to figure out how that is. It's actually the first day I'm trying this, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. But I am going to show you guys some of the ways that I get a real nice crisp sound on my vocals. So I was working with a buddy of mine. We were actually just doing a cover song of Can You Stand the Rain? And yeah, you know, he's an amazing singer, real good dude. You guys will probably see us working soon in the studio. I talked to him about doing a couple things. So I definitely want to, actually let you guys see, what he can do. I think that he has some real good songs, some real good concepts and things like that. But I'm going to actually play it from the beginning. And this is just kind of some raw stuff that we were working on. Check it out.
Sunny days on a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. If that's not possible, tell me, can you weather a storm? 'Cause I need
That's no auto-tune. That's a little bit of compression and reverb and delay. So what I'm going to do is, and I actually have it going to a vocal bus. This is actually showing you the process of how I showed you how you can get good clean vocals while tracking. That way you don't have to commit to anything. That way your sessions can actually go as planned. You don't have to say, hold on for a second, let me get the EQ just right. It's just kind of setting up something, something where your artists can hear themselves good and you can actually hear them good. You can actually hear how well it translates. Sometimes just a little bit of compression. I have the compression going through, and excuse that camera, but we're gonna do it, and I'll figure out why it does that. So as long as you guys are liking these videos and subscribing to these videos, we are going to grow. So and I do have the Waves plugins here, but eventually, if you just have stock plugins, do not feel left out. Do not feel left out. I've been doing it for a long time, and I actually like to have different things to find out how different things work. You can accomplish a lot of these things with the stock plugins that you have. So don't get ahead of yourself. Don't break the bank. But we're gonna, first of all, I'm gonna take all these off, as well as the reverb and even that little bit of EQ dip that I had. First thing I want you to notice, I'm gonna make this bigger. When recording vocals, it does not take for you to have the mic extremely loud, because even right now, let me see how I can pull up let me move this for a second, because right now even my level, this is the mic here, this is the other mic that my artists use. It's kind of picking me up too. It's NT1A, but I have the C414. You see, it's barely going above 24 decibels. So what's that telling you is, if you set your levels right, you don't have to have a really loud signal, because when you have a really loud signal, when you actually start, you're going to have to turn it down if you want it to sound right when you start applying effects to it. So that's the first thing. Make sure that your levels are right. Gain staging, mic placement, all those things go into play to make some really good sounding stuff. So I'm going to play it without As a matter of fact, I'm going to actually play it with nothing, and we'll see how that sounds.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. If that's not possible, tell me, can you weather a storm? 'Cause I need.
Okay. And another thing for you guys to realize is that the background is whisper quiet. And I know that may not be your situation, but if you can help it, if it's something that you can control, that's something that you definitely want to control while trying to get your the best experience for your singers, because that's going to give you the easiest experience if you're doing the mixing, or if you're sending it off to a mix engineer. That's one of the things that actually will just take up more time trying to eliminate those bad frequencies or hiss sounds, or just any type of thing that is not the song and that is not going to bring the elements to the song that we need to bring to the song. So what I'm going to show you how to do is, in later videos I'll show you different ways to actually troubleshoot that, and with mic placement, and certain ways that even if you have issues in your recordings, that you can kind of figure out how to move past them if it's something that you really can't help. Like if you're in a noisy environment, or you're somebody's outside cutting grass, it's certain things that you can kind of get around that really won't stop the productivity. Okay, so instead of on the track, right now I am going to show you how I set up my vocal bus. And the reason why I set up a vocal bus is mainly because I want to make sure that I can actually, especially for if you have one artist in the studio, the way that your mic sounds with his voice, the way you're going to be EQing it is really going to be on most of the tracks, unless it's like ad-libs where you're doing like really totally different sets of EQs. Like a lot of people do the phone voice, or different effects, flangers and delays. But this is like just for the standard purposes of having a clean sound. That way your artists can really hear themselves. So instead of using what I had, I'm going to actually zero this out, because I just had a little dip going there. So what I'll do is I'll unmute everything, and I'm going to play it again. As a matter of fact, let me place my marker here.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay, so
if that's not possible,
so
tell me, can you weather a storm?
So having a good mic, or having a good let me take that out as well, because I'm going to start from scratch. Having the best mic and like just raw setup that you have, hardware setup, I would say, is going to be the first tip. You're going to make sure that you want to have the best setup to get the cleanest sound possible, because a lot of stuff we can fix during mixing, but a lot of times if we can prevent a lot of these things, it doesn't hinder that creativity that we have. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know why this green box is over this thing. It just keeps trying to focus on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to set it. All right, well.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
And what I'm doing now is actually trying to look for any boxy frequencies. So
on a perfect day,
somewhere up in here.
I know that
There it
I
is.
can count on you.
And I think that's where I had it. So I'm actually not going to bring it down that much, but
if that's not possible, tell me, can you weather a storm?
and for the purpose of this video, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna, well, we'll get, I'll do it. I'm just so sometimes I get a little antsy because I know the volume is gonna be up, but if anything, I'll try to automate this volume to where it'll be louder so you can actually hear what I'm doing in the video. So what I did was I did a small dip here, and a lot of times you will hear a little bit of background rumble. Right now I'm actually looking at it and I know this right here, I don't need any of that.
I know that I can count on you.
And one way we can find out what that is through this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a filter on that. Let's say we go to around 100 hertz. I'm going to filter out all the other frequencies and just keep this low information so you can see what we are trying to avoid having in our music. See, that right there is so that's low end information that we really don't care for. It's like it could be the rumble from the AC in the building, and it could be anything. So what I usually like to do is cut out what I'm not using. So I'll say it's usually around like 80 hertz I like to take out. And I just did that on the wrong. Meant to do that on the vocal bus. There we are. Okay, so I'm gonna take this down, take this to about 80 hertz.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay, so on the SSL, and we're gonna start over on this. What I did was I went to the lead Vox preset.
Tell me, can you
I went to the lead Vox preset, and I'm gonna play it without it, and then I'm gonna add it just so you can see the difference that it brings to the table, and I'm still gonna customize it a little bit.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay, and like I said, it's a great sounding vocal, but we want to make sure that we bring in we want to be able to brighten some of the top end so it actually cut through some of those instruments, and that way and we also want to add just a little bit of compression. That way it brings up some of the lower sounds, and and we want to make sure that we can actually bring out what is being translated through the singing. So
on a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay, so that was with it, and this is without it again.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay, so we're not really doing a whole lot to the vocals. We're just bringing it up, and there's a little bit of EQ happening right here, and just on the lead Vox is actually bringing it in at around 12.5 K, pretty much 12,500 hertz. Here, there's a small bump around the higher mid frequency, almost pretty much 3.8K. And usually this low mid frequency, sometimes with the male's voice, it depends on the setup, but I usually don't let a lot of this bump right here, I may not let it come through. But one thing you'll realize about different EQs, especially like the analog hardware, is that they have a different way to actually, bring out certain sounds. So a bump like this probably wouldn't be good on the stock EQ, but you just really just have to learn your different VSTs and your different effects. So
on a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Yeah, see, it sounded a little bit better when I brung it down.
If that's not possible, tell me, can you weather a storm?
So the SSL has just a little bit of compression going on, and I mainly use it for the EQ. And the next thing I had on this vocal chain is the API. And I like the API compressor a whole lot. I turn the analog off because a lot of times it just actually adds a noise, and sometimes it's good. Sometimes I kind of don't like the noise because it's almost just like a electrical hum. And sometimes when I can tell, I really don't like it because I think that other people would just be able to hear it, and it just kind of becomes a irritant. I honestly wish that the tone only happened as far as when the sound goes through, but even when it's off, it creates a particular hum. So, all right.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. If that's not possible, tell me, can you?
And as you can still see, even after I'm applying these effects, my meter isn't going well above 12. So this is something that, even though I had a little compression going on here, I also have just a little bit going on here. And you don't have to have my exact same plugins that I use. And this right here is just the EQ. It's a the PuigTech EQ is actually designed after the Pultec EQs, which is it's almost like it's a certain way that it adds, like you can actually attenuate and boost at the same time, which in normal standards you would think that, okay, if I'm attenuating, which is bringing something down, and I'm boosting at the same time, wouldn't that just cancel itself out? But no, it actually creates I guess like a particular EQ curve. Like, I guess if it brings up in one area, one part goes down. And I don't have a diagram of how that works, but if you are interested in that, I'm pretty sure that we can find out together. So leave it in the comments if you actually want to know more about that. I always love studying different things like that if you guys are interested in stuff like that. So I'm going to actually bring in the PuigTech EQ, and we'll see how that actually brings more to it. And I'm going to solo it as well so we can hear how it brings a little bit more life to the vocal.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay, and just then, I actually heard, I can actually hear that it adds a little bit more, and it's not harsh or anything like that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bypass it. I'm gonna take it out and play it back.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
Okay. And this is with the effect on it.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you.
So we actually have just a little bit more high-end information coming in, and I actually have a boost just a little bit and attenuated on the low end, and also a little bit on the high end around 10K. And when you actually add a little bit of reverb, it actually gives it makes, you know, it kind of just adds a little bit of a room to it. So, and I actually have a reverb and delay on that effects bus, but we're gonna actually hear it, and we'll actually hear how it sounds with everything.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. If that's not possible, tell me, can you weather a storm? 'Cause I need. 'Cause I need.
Yeah. So let me see if this is the one that. Let me see if this is the one that I was. Cause I had a couple takes. I was trying to get my mic right, but we're gonna find out together. I might be a little embarrassed.
'Cause I need. 'Cause I need.
Oh, my bad. Let me turn the
on a perfect. 'Cause I need. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She'll always be right there. 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 Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain?
So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, just us actually having a little bit of time. We didn't have the time to actually do the full song that day, but we actually had fun messing around with this particular song. But I'm hoping that you guys learned something today, and please, if you want more videos like this, I'll definitely try to work on my camera view. If you don't want the camera view, I mean, put that down in the comments. And if you want to see more beat making videos, make sure you guys let me know what it is that you're looking for, so I can make sure that I come through with whatever you're looking for, and we will grow together. I actually kind of like this view of the studio. Let me know if you like this view better. I think in my Facebook live views that I did, I had it coming from the opposite way over here, kind of just showing the equipment. I was barely in it, but I actually kind of like this view a little bit. So I'm gonna actually play with this program, try to figure out what I need to do so I won't do that freezing thing. And it's saying something. I don't know what it's saying, something. So, and I hear the camera clicking, so I don't know if it goes into like a sleep mode and the program wakes it back up. But I would like to figure out a little bit more. But make sure you guys let me know what you think about this tutorial. If you have questions, make sure you hit me up. If you're looking for beats, you can check out gotbetterbeats.com.